Najib Razak corruption allegations, particularly the 1MDB scandal, had detrimental effect on Malaysia. Billions of dollars intended for public aid and development were misused, impeding economic growth and neglecting social needs. The scandal tarnished Malaysia's international image, leading to reduced foreign direct investment and slower economic growth. It also eroded public trust in the government and its institutions, undermining democracy and citizen participation. The perception of Najib Razak as a corrupt leader had significant consequences domestically and internationally, affecting Malaysia's economy, foreign businesses, and trade relations. Corruption deters investors and hampers economic growth, highlighting the importance of anti-corruption policies and good governance for sustainable development. For the study background, the slide highlighted the dominant presence of corruption allegations during Najib Razak's tenure as Malaysia's Prime Minister, with the infamous 1MDB scandal being the most prominent. The scandal involved the misappropriation of billions from the state-owned fund, raising concern about high-level corruption. This garnered international attention and led to investigation in various countries, including the United States, Switzerland, and Singapore. The broader economic implications of these allegations include a decline in investor confidence, reduced foreign direct investment, and strained economic relationship with other nations. Consequently, Malaysia's economic growth and development have been significantly hindered. The research aimed to analyze and compare Malaysia's economic performance with its regional counterpart to understand the specific impact of corruption on the country's economic trajectory. It will also examine factors contributing to Razak's reputation as corrupt leader, the effect on international investment, and the potential obstacles to Malaysia's economic growth and development. For the problem statement, the research aimed to analyze the reasons behind the perception of Najib Razak as a corrupt leader. It will focus on his specific action, statement, and behaviors, particularly highlighting cases of alleged corruptions, such as the 1MDB crisis. The study will also explore court cases and investigations opened against him. The research also shift its focus to the international impact of Najib Razak alleged corruption on Malaysia's foreign investment and trade relations. It aims to assess the extent of the damage inflicted on Malaysia's economy and compare the effect of corruption with other factors influencing foreign business decisions. Furthermore, the study will examine how Najib Razak alleged corrupt practices may have hindered Malaysia's economic growth and development. A comparative analysis with other countries in the region will be conducted to understand the unique influence of corruption on Malaysia's economic trajectory. The goal is to reveal how corruption can divert funds from public welfare and deter investment, ultimately stunting economic growth. Next, moving on to the research objective. My first point of inquiry will focus on the extent of the economic fallout stemming from Razak tenure. I will be examining the magnitude of funds alleged to have been misappropriated during his reign, also in the sectors that were impacted the most, and delve into the overall economic effect his action might have had on the country. The second objective is to understand the influence of Najib Razak's alleged corrupt activities on foreign investment and international trade relations. Corruption scandals of this scale can significantly affect a nation's credibility. Thus, I will analyze how such allegations could have eroded investors' confidence, potentially leading to a decrease in foreign direct investment. Finally, I will investigate the potential effect of Razak corrupt practices on the expansion and improvement of the Malaysia economy in doing so, I will consider the prevailing socio-economic and political conditions in neighboring countries. This will help me understand the regional implications of the scandal and how it might have affected Malaysia's growth prospect in the Southeast Asian regions. Moving on to research question, my first research question focuses on understanding the corruption allegations levied against Najib Razak. To provide a clear picture, I will discuss the nature, extent, and specifics of these allegations, including the infamous 1MDB scandal. Next, I will examine the early impact of Razak corruption on Malaysia's international investment and economic ties, aim to identify trends, shift, and potential investor sentiment during Razak tenure, focusing on how perceived corruption may have influenced investment decisions. For the third research question, I will explore how allegations of corruption impacted Malaysia's economic growth and development. I will also analyze macroeconomic indicators and growth rate during Razak's time in office and explore any direct or indirect relationship with the corruption allegations. The research scope focused on investigation is on corruption allegation against Najib Razak, particularly related to one MDB controversy. The goal is to analyze the charge and evidence against him to determine his alleged involvement in illegal activities. The investigation also aims to assess the impact of these corruption allegations on international investment and trade ties. This analysis will help understand how the allegations have affected foreign investment in Malaysia and any disruptions to trade relations. Furthermore, the investigation explored the impediments caused by Najib Razak corruption on Malaysia's economic development. It seeks to identify the sectors most affected by corruption and the broader implications for the country's economy. To provide a comprehensive analysis, a comparison will be made between Malaysia's economic performance and that of other countries in the region. This approach will help assess the specific impact of corruption on Malaysia's development by analyzing economic data, trade statistics, and investment trends. Moving on to the methodology. First, gathering information. To ensure reliable findings, I thoroughly reviewed academic papers, reports, and publications on corruption and its effect. I also studied the 1MDB case and associated legal proceeding to understand the allegations against Najib Razak. Next, quantitative analysis. Quantitative analysis was vital in our study. I compiled economic data, GDP, and used statistical method to determine the monetary implications of corruption by Najib Razak. This analysis revealed the extent of harm to Malaysia's economy. Lastly, comparative approaches. I compared Malaysia's economic expansion, investment, and trade connection with neighboring countries to understand the impact of corruption on its economy. Analyzing similar cases aim to gain insight into the long-term effect of corrupt leadership on economic growth and development. The concept of my study: corruption wide-reaching impact. Corruption is not just a minor issue. It represents a significant challenge that hinders a country's progress in both economic and social sphere. As Oslania suggests, it undermines a nation's capacity for growth and development, stifling its potential for advancement. Undermining trust and political transparency. Najib Razak government was plagued by allegations of widespread fraud and misappropriation of public funds. These revelations struck at the very core of public trust in the government, leaving the citizens questioning the transparency and honesty of the political leadership in Malaysia. Moving on, the negative impact on Malaysia's economy. The repercussion of the scandal reverberated throughout Malaysia's economic landscape. Funds that were meant to be utilized for public welfare were instead misused, leading to a hindrance in economic development. Furthermore, the tarnished reputation of the administration deterred foreign direct investment, impeding the country's economic growth. Next, damage to democratic institutions. The erosion of public confidence in the government had severe consequences for Malaysia's democratic institutions. Fundamental pillars of democracy were weakened, and the operating processes of the administration faced intense scrutiny and public dissatisfaction. The crisis shattered the public faith in their leaders' ability to prioritize the needs of the populace above personal interests. Moving on to the research contribution. First, impact on economic growth. Corruption hampers economic growth by deterring foreign investment, hindering development, and diverting public funds for personal gain. The Razak scandal in Malaysia exemplifies how corruption obstructs economic progress by misusing billions of dollars earmarked for infrastructure, healthcare, and education. Next, corruption depletes public funds, hampering overall economic growth. Second, erosion of public confidence in democratic institutions. Corruption, control Corruption and controversies like the Razak scandal undermine public trust in the institution. They erode confidence in ability to prioritize public interests and can lead to instability and unrest. My research reveals that corruption's impact is extend beyond financial loss, significantly damaging societal trust in the foundations of democratic governance. Moving on, the importance of anti-corruption policies. This study emphasizes the need for strong anti-corruption measures. The analysis of the Razak scandal exposes the widespread corruption in governance and highlights the importance of promoting transparency, accountability, and good governance. Lessons learned from this case can guide policymakers in other countries facing similar challenges, contributing to global anti-corruption efforts. That's all from me. Thank you so much.